Good evening, everyone. So this is what we are going to achieve in this video. In our class we did two columns, right? So but I think these three columns is much more better than the two columns. So this is what you are going to achieve. Then this is the footer. This is the footer which I said you are going to design it the way you want. But it should be a very simple, not complex footer. So let's continue. So I'm going to create a new folder for this project. So let's call it main blog because I have the samples there already so that it won't mix up. So let's have our blog 1.html. So we have our CSS inside as well. Blog 1.css. So it depends on what you want to name it. So here we are going to copy our font awesome link. I believe you already know how to do that in order not to waste our time. So this is it. So you just copy and paste it here. Then we link our CSS. Which is I think it's our CSS. So that is that. So in the body, so now in the first the one we did in class, we had containers for each of the columns, right? But here we are going to have just one container, then it will contain all the contents. So it will contain all the content. So now the container, that container. So this is the closing tag here. So the first thing we are going to have the left part of this thing. So let's give it left. So dot left. So inside the dot left, we have our card. So I think it shouldn't be here. It should be inside here. It should be inside the container. Should be inside the container. So inside our left, we have our dot card. We have our first card. We have 3 cards, right? So we have our first card. So we have our H2 inside it. Have our H2, which is the about us. First, let me transfer all these images to this here because I'm going to use the same images. Right. So about us. So after about us, we have our this shouldn't be here. It should be here. So let me just leave it this way. Okay, since it's in the card, so I'm going to link this our H2. So I'm going to link our H2 just to let me show you what I'm trying to do here. It's a link, right? It's a link, but it doesn't lead to anywhere. It's just to design it. It's just to style it. So let's give it a link. Our H2, let's give our H2 a link. So since we are not linking it to anywhere, so just give it a link like that. So inside we have our first image. Our first image, which is let's use 3. Let's use 3 here. So and we have our paragraph as well. So you can add your content. view. So this is our first card. This is the end of the first card. So let's have our second card. Our second card, dot card. So inside the dot card, we also have H3, which is the popular post. H3 popular post. And name it anything. So we are also going to link it just like we link the previous one. Sorry, add it in an anchor link anchor. So let's continue. So we have our 3 images. We have our image 1, we have our image 2, and we have our image 3. Depends on the design you want actually. This is just a sample of what you can, of a design for the blog post. So this is the beginning and the end of the second card. So let's have our third card here. So inside the third card, we also have a H3 ink. So H3, and the H3 is follow us. Follow us. So we have our paragraph, read more. Paragraph, read more. Read more, and we have our social media icons. So let me just come here to just copy it. I believe you already know this in the last class, the footer session. So you just copy the Facebook, the Twitter, and others. So it depends on what you want to add. So you just paste it here. So let's look at what we have. That is the first, the left part. So you can see we have them here. So you can see the lines, you can see these lines. If you want these lines to appear, let me show you. These lines, no. Yeah, these lines. You know we didn't have it in our first design. These lines here, this line 1, 2, 3, just like it is here. So what you do is you just come here and add HR at the end of each image. HR at the end of the image. So you see the lines appear there. Let's see. So okay, you can see the lines now. You can see the lines here. So let's continue. So this is the end of our left. So let's do the middle. So middle. So in our middle we have two, I think in our middle we have 2 cards, right? Yes, we have 2 cards. So dot middle. It depends on what you want to name it. So middle. So inside the middle we have our first card. First card. So inside the card we have our title. You know I add a link tag to everything. So we have our H2. So title heading. It depends on what you want to name it. Then after that, we have our description, which is paragraph. Description. Description. So we have what is it called? Title description, sorry. Yeah, it can be description or title description. It depends on the name you want to give it. So we have the date. It's February 4. So after that, we have our image. So let's use one. After that, we have our paragraph. This is just a sample design. So you can design it to your own taste, but this is just a sample. So we have our card here, we have the end of the card, and we have the end of the middle here. Let me just move this here. So and we have our second card inside. Let's have our second card. Dot card. Inside the second card, we have our title heading, which I'm going to wrap with the link. So H2 title heading, title, okay, double T, title heading. So after that, we have our paragraph, which is just the same thing. So it depends on how you want it. You can just copy. Let me just copy from here. Yes, and paste it here because I'm having the same thing. So instead of wasting our time. So this is the beginning of the card and this is the end. Remember, this is the closing part of the middle. You can see the start, you can just see the end here. So let's look at what we have. So everything are on a straight line as it is now. So let's go back. So let's now have the last part of it. You know, this is the end of the middle, right? So we have our third is it called our right part of it. No, we already have left. We have the right now. So because I'm going to make use of the same design as of this, so I'm just going to copy. This is the beginning here. So you can also design it in your own way, but this is what I'm going to use here. I'm going to use from here. I think this is the end. This is the end of it. So I'm just going to copy and paste it because I'm making use, you know, this is the end part of the container, right? So you just come here, you make sure it's still inside of it. So this is the end part of the container. So, and this is it. So let's look at what we have now. So everything are still on a straight line. You can see, have everything here. So what else? I think our footer. So the next thing is our footer. So it will be at the end of the closing div for the container. So let's have our footer. So inside the footer we have H2 or even H1. You can name it, just to name it footer. Oops, sorry. Just for indication. So now let's go to the design. So we are going to style the body first. The body is just everything, including the container. So this is let me show you. The body starts from here. So this is the body. So everything from here to here. So we are going to give the body a background color. So this is the body. So I'm giving it a background color of red. Then I adjust the color to my taste. It depends on what you want. I'm giving it a margin of 0 pixels. So I'm giving it a padding of 20. So sorry, of 10 pixels. So the header now, this header, this one, this H1. So you can see the color for the distance has appeared already. So let me show you. Oh, I didn't even add the header yet. Let me see. Let me check main blog. Oh, the header is not there yet. So I'm going to add the header outside the container. Should be outside the container open div. So I'm going to give it H1. H1. Sorry about that. I'm going to name it H1. H1, our blog. Our blog. So let's look at it here. So you can see our blog is here. So that's what we are going to. So let me just quit this to avoid distraction. I'm sorry about that. So header, we are going to style our header now. So let's give it a background color of white. So it depends on the color you want to give it, but I'm giving it, let me give it this. I'm giving it a padding. Sorry. So I'm giving it a padding. I'm giving it a padding of 20 pixels. Or let me give it a padding of 30 pixels. It depends on how wide you want it to be. So I'm also going to start the header H1. Header H1. Now, so I'm giving the header H1 text align center. I'm giving it a font size of, let's say, 40 pixels. So I'm giving it a color. I'm giving it chocolate color. So let's see. You can see here. So it's at the center. Oops, sorry about that. So after that, we are going to design our container. We have everything inside one container, right? We have all our content inside one container. So it's just, we are making use of Flex in order to make it more responsive. Because the float, I am having problem with the floats during this project. So I'm making use of Flex. So our container now will display Flex. Container. So display Flex. So let's look at what we have. You can see everything is divided now. We have our left, we have our middle, and we have our right. So now the container, the left, the right, and the middle, we are going to give them 10, what is it called? the container, the left, right, sorry, the right, then the middle, right? So we are going to give them, all of them, padding 10 pixels. So now I don't want to make use of this thing here. I don't want to make use of percent here. So I'll just make use of flex 1. So let's see. Instead of percentage, instead of giving it 25%, 50%, another 25%, that is for the right, the middle, and the left. So I'm just going to flex it 1. So I'm just, left and right are going to be the same size, right? So let's see. Left dot right. So I'm going to give them flex 1. So I told you we are making use of flex here. So, but the middle, I'm giving it flex 2. So that means it should double the size of the right and the left. You get it now? So it should double, it should be the double size of this left and the right. So let's look at it. It's not flexing yet. The right flex 1, flex middle. So what is the problem again? Okay, let's continue. Let's tie the card first before we check what's wrong. We have the card, we have our card. So we give our card dot card a padding. Let's give it a padding of let's say 20 pixels. 20 pixels. So let's give it a background color of white. This same. Okay, let's give it this. Let's give it that, and let's give it a margin top. A margin top of 20 pixels. Let's give it a border radius of 20 pixels. Right. So after that, let's look at what we have now. So let's give our what is it called? Our card. Let's continue. Our card image. Let's give our card image. The image is in the cards now. So let's give them weight of 100%. 100% weight. So let's check it. Let's check what we have. You can see. So it's perfect now. You can see our left, the right, and the middle. So let's have our right, the right, the right, the right card. Let's give the right card image the margin. Sorry, the right, and the, what is it called? The right, the left, and the card. The left and the card. That is everything. Let's give everything margin bottom of 15 pixels. Sorry, margin bottom of 15 pixels. So if you give a margin bottom of 15 pixels, so we have our card A. This card is right. This card links. Let me show you. You know we have all these links here. Sorry. You have all these links here, right? So let's give it an ID because we want to style it. So let's give it an ID, or let's just say, okay, because if you say, if you are saying all the A's, it will affect the, what is it called, it will affect the social media icons. So that's why I'm giving it an ID. So let's say text, for instance. So I'll just copy and paste to all the links. So you just copy and paste to all the links without all these ones, without the social media. So because we are just going to give it a color, I think that is all. So we are also going to style our paragraphs. So let's give it sample. Let's give it a class name of sample. You can give it a class name, you can give it an ID, but I'm giving it a class of sample. All our paragraphs. All our paragraphs. So we have another paragraph here. We have another paragraph here. We have another one here. We have another one here. Right? So I think, okay, we have another one here. So let's see. We have another one here. I think that is all. Where again? I think that is all. So, okay, we have another one here. So our ID, so this we haven't given this our ID. Let me just copy and paste the ID that we gave the anchor. Sorry, the link. All our, so we have it here. So we have another one here. So we have the last one here. So I think that is all. So now, all the A anchors now. Sorry about that. So all the A anchors now, the card link. So you know we gave it ID. We gave everything ID of okay, sorry, card A. Or will you just make use of the ID? Give it an ID of text, right? So let's give it color. Let's give it color of chocolate, because we gave the other one to, that is our H1 now, our header. We gave it chocolate, so you can see it here. So on hover now, let's say on hover, this text link on hover, on hover, on hover, on hover, it should give us a background color of I'm coming. So on hover now, it should give us a background color of let's say I'm coming. I want to make it a bit dark. So, and border radius of okay, yes, I'm right. Border radius. border radius of sorry, a border of 2 pixels solid then black. So let's give it a border radius of 5 pixels. Border radius of 5 pixels. So let's give it a color of white. So let's check what we have. So you can see I'm going to remove this background color because it doesn't make any sense here. So I'm removing the background color. So we have, I'm removing, okay, I'm coming. Let's just see. I'm also removing this thing here. So let's just give it on hover. The color should be white. Oh, it should be black, sorry. On, you know, it's chocolate color. We gave it a chocolate color, but on hover, the color should be black. And what is it called? To remove the line, you know, there is a line here. You can see on hover, the color is black, but the line is still under when we hover over it. So let's give it text decoration. None. So you can see. Why now? Why is this? Text decoration none. Why is wrong? Why is it not reflecting? You can see our social media, this thing here. Our social media icons. Okay, let's use card A. Let's use card A instead of this thing we gave. Let's see if it will work. But if not, still go back to. Okay, it's working now. So it's working now. You can see. You can see that it's working now, right? Okay. So now, what next? I think our footer. Let's go for our footer. Let's design our footer. So let's just give our footer a background color. Sorry, footer background color of, let's give it gray. Let's give it a padding of 20 pixels. Let's give it a padding of 20 pixels. Let's text align center. Text align center. Then let's give it a margin top. Margin top of 20 pixels. So let's look at what we have in general. Oh, our footer is not reflecting. Why? Why is it not reflecting? Or is it not there yet? It's here now. So why is it not reflecting? Why is it not reflecting? Oh, okay. Sorry. Footer. And we have our H2. Let's check it now. Okay, you can see it here, so it's down. So you can give it any color of your choice anyway. So, but our advice, we give it the same color we gave the header. Let me check the color we gave the header. So let's give it, let's just copy and paste. So let's check it now. You can see it's the same color with the header. So you can see if you click on here, if you click on all this, you will see that it's black, right? It's black. So everything is bad. So the thing affected when we used the card A, it affected everything, right? So let's now okay, let me see something, because I want to increase the width of this thing, the social media icons. So card A. So now text. Okay, let's just leave it that way. So you can just increase it the way you like. Because if I give it another style, so maybe you can just give it any other name. So our samples now, you know, we gave our, what is it called? Our this thing, samples, right? Our paragraphs. So on hover, sample on hover, then active, sorry, sample active, sample active, sample active. So let's give it a color, a font size. So because we want the font size to be bigger when we hover over it, font size of 120%. No, the original size is 100%, right? So let's give it a color, the same color we gave our background, body background. So I'll just copy and paste here. So let's check it. You can see these are paragraphs. Is it is it sample I gave it or samples? Let me check. Yes, it's sample now. See me. So yeah, it's sample. I gave it sample. It's sample. So why is it not working? Okay, look at me here. Paragraph. So sample, it should work now. Let's check. Okay, you can see. You can see, right? So when you hover over it, so but the font size is not the font size. Okay, let's give it 150 pixels on hover. Okay, you can see it's much more bigger now. So you can see the lines we added to our this thing, the lines we added here. So you can see if you click on here, it becomes black, right? So I think that is it for here. So now let's do this thing. What is it called? The mobile view of it. Can see. So we want everything. If you want it to be like this, fine. But if you want everything to be on a straight line, you just come here. So at media. At media. Let's give it a maximum width of 800 pixels. It depends on the width you want to give it. Maximum width of 800 pixels. Then dot container. You know everything is in one container, right? So you give it flex. You know we are making use of flex, right? Give it flex direction column. Right. So let's look at it. You can see. So everything very beautiful. You can see everything here. Have everything very beautiful here. So that is it. Please make sure you watch this video before our revision class tomorrow. So you can also design, you give it give the left and the right different designs. So if you can do that, I think it will be better. So please make sure you watch this video. Then you can ask any question tomorrow during the revision class that you are not or you don't understand. Any part you don't understand, so you can ask. Thank you.